Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video we talk about the Washington Commanders signing their first round pick, Josh Conerly, to his rookie contract. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell as well so you never miss a video. So still on vacation. Gonna make this quick. It's not a huge video, but the Washington Commanders have signed Josh Conerly to a 4-year deal worth worth 15.68 million. I believe it's around an $8 million signing bonus. So they have Josh Conerly, their first round pick out of Oregon. He's signed a contract. They have he's their their top pick that they drafted. He's signed. Trey Amos is what I was trying to say. He is their top pick that they haven't signed to a contract. Really, the only pick that they haven't signed to a contract. Jalen Lane signed, Cam Madrano signed, and then Bill JCM, he has been signed to rookie contracts. All those guys, I believe, got signed on the same day, or at least it was announced that they got signed on the same day. And then now it's Josh Conerly. So usually it's the first round or second round picks that take a little bit longer. So usually it's the second round picks because they're trying to get a little bit more money, especially guys that fell a little bit. And Trey Amos, he fell a little bit. So it is what it is. It's going to take a little bit of time. Who knows? But it'll be done before training camp starts for sure. If we get closer to training camp and it hasn't happened, that's when it's a little bit of a that's when it is a big deal. It'll probably be happening before mandatory mini camp, and I don't, OTAs isn't mandatory, but mandatory mini camp, which all that stuff is going to start up over the next few weeks. They're going to have OTAs, mini camps, so that'll be good. We'll get some stuff from the media there, and I believe it all ends like mid-June, like early to mid-June, so like June 10th, June 12th, I think they'll be done with that. That's like their last session, and then after that you got like 6 weeks off, or they do, before they have training camp, which is when, in my opinion, the real football season starts, is training camp. They'll have weekish of not normal practice, like a ramp up period, and then after that week they'll start doing pads on and off. So that'll be really good to see how the rookies look, see how some of the other guys look. I'm gonna try to go at least a couple of times, just get us a good sense of some of the rookies and just how the team is looking, how they're using some of the players. It's tough to really tell, with training camp and stuff, because Cliff and those guys, they're not going to want to show really what's happening, but you do get a sense of which players showed up and had a good off season in terms of, are they in shape? Have they been in the lab working on their technique, working on learning the offense, learning the defense? Like you can't tell a lot sometimes, but you can tell the little things, not even the little things, but is the guy coming in shape, and does he look good for the most part? There are some guys that have looked good in the past, Cam Sims, that he didn't turn out to be a star, or Trey Apke, where the media was raving about him, saying this guy's a stud, he's been having an outstanding camp, and maybe he was, but guess what, that did not translate to the actual football field on Sundays with the Redskins, or I think at that time it might have been Washington football team, but whatever. He didn't end up having a good season, play like 1 or 2 games as a starter, and then after that they benched him for, I don't even know who, Monte Nicholson or whoever it was at that time. But so it's just something to keep in mind with, obviously we'll be posting about videos about guys that have been balling out and stuff like that, but you do have to take it with a grain of salt, because they're playing against the same guys every day in practice. They might not be going full speed all the time, they might not have pads on, but it's the only football we have right now, so we have to talk about it. And but that is the disclaimer, is that it is still May, and the real football doesn't happen until September. And the Washington Commanders, that's when they're actually going to start playing. So it'll be interesting to see, especially Jaden Daniels year 2, how he looks. We're already seeing some of the pictures that he's looking a lot bigger, and you're looking a little jacked up. So that is good, I think, at least, putting on a little bit more armor, making it harder for him to get hurt. Knock on wood, hope he doesn't get hurt this year. But, that's been a big sign. And then, the biggest thing with these things is just seeing how the young guys look, the rookie class, like the guys I just mentioned that got signed, and then Trey Amos, Josh Conerly, Trey Amos, Jalen Lane, Kane Madrano, Bill JCM, those guys, seeing how they look, what their roles are. And then the second year players, Jaden Daniels, we know he's a stud, but still want to see what he looks like. And then the bigger ones like Johnny Newton, how does he look? Mike Sanders still. Is he going to be a good player, which he was in his rookie year, or is he going to take that extra leap? And is he going to go to an elite player in year 2? Is he going to be a stud, a Pro Bowl type player? Then you got guys like Johnny Newton and Ben Sennett. Those are the biggest ones for me. And then, Jordan McGee's, would be interesting to see what he could do, because I did like him coming out of, I believe, Temple. And then you got Dom Hampton, who I forgot where he went. I think Washington. Yeah, I think it was Washington. See how he looks. You got Javonte Jean-Baptiste as well. Maybe he takes a second year leap. So those are the biggest, things to watch for me are, the young players. Year 1 rookies and year 2 players. And then some of the guys they sign in free agency that, are a little bit more, you don't necessarily know what they're going to do, like Will Harris for sure. Javon Kinlaw, are they going to play him solely inside? Or are they going to play on the outside a little bit as well? But yeah, overall, just want to talk about offseason stuff. I'll keep you guys updated on any news and then the stuff coming up pretty soon with OTAs and minicamp. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and peace.